Okay, so the last paragraph of page 4, and then we'll move on to page 5. Talmudic sources. The primary sources for the laws of conversion are in the Talmud. The basic description of the conversion process is recorded in Yevamot 47a through b. Our rabbis taught if at the present time a person desires to become a convert, he is to be addressed as follows. Why do you come to be a convert? Do you know that Israel at the present time is persecuted and oppressed, despised, harassed, and overcome by afflictions? If he replies, I know, and yet I am unworthy, but still wish to convert, he is accepted immediately. The word is miyad, right away, and is given instruction in some of the minor and some of the major commandments. And as he is informed of the punishment for the transgression of the commandments, so is he informed of the reward granted for their fulfillment. He is not, however, to be persuaded or dissuaded too much. And this is not opinion. This is what it actually says in the text. If he accepted, he is circumcised right away. As soon as he is healed, arrangements are made for his immediate immersion in a mikvah. We're on page 5 now. When he comes up after his immersion, he is deemed to be an Israelite in all respects. In the case of a woman convert, women make her sit in the water up to her neck. The learned men stand outside and give her instruction in some of the minor commandments and some of the major ones. The reason they're outside is for reasons of modesty. She's going to be naked in the water, and we don't want the men to be able to see her, so she goes in with the women up to her neck so that the men are not seeing her in an indecent way. So the candidate for conversion is first told the dangers of confronting the Jewish people in order to ascertain whether he or she is willing to be subjected to these risks as a Jew. This harks back to biblical Ruth, whose conversion declaration began with, your people will be my people, and only afterward went on with, your God will be my God. The Talmud requires us to inform the would-be convert of some of the mitzvot, not all of them. Indeed, we are not supposed to belabor the issue of mitzvot so as not to scare off the person who has already expressed a desire to become a member of the Jewish people. We may neither persuade nor dissuade too much. Rather, we want to make the person know that our religion makes demands on us which entail rewards and punishments. It is up to the person to decide, based on the limited information we have presented, whether or not to become Jewish. Although when you read the laws, there's 2 examples given. Before you came to convert, you were not expected to keep Shabbat. Now you would be expected. This is what will happen. The punishment if you violate it, where you would not have been punished before. If you eat the certain fat, we have to kosher. We're not allowed to eat certain things. Before, you would be permitted to eat it. After you convert, you will not be permitted. There will be a punish for it. So it specifically says you only teach them some of the light mitzvot and some of the heavy mitzvot. It specifically says do not expound and teach them all the particulars of this, so that we don't discourage him because we don't want to scare him off. It specifically says this. We don't want him to leave the good path that he's on right now, coming to convert, and return to the bad path. Whatever the bad path is the path he was on before he came to convert. And as we'll see in Tractate Gerim, it says that only Israel has a share in the world to come. All these things I tell you only to increase your reward. So it does leave it up to them if they want to convert or not. But everything that's in there is encouraging them to convert. We specifically do not want to scare them off. So also you'll notice in those laws, and the reason this is coming to mind is I just taught a class on Ger Toshav, the 7 Noahide laws, and you notice those are never offered in the Halacha of conversions, where we learn how to do the conversions. It's never offered as an alternative. Okay, the Talmud makes no reference to the need for the would-be convert to spend years studying the Torah before being accepted for conversion. It makes no demand that the candidate even know what all the mitzvot are. On the contrary, the Talmudic conversion process is fairly straightforward. Once the candidate has expressed willingness to join the Jewish people, and once he or she has been told some of the mitzvot, he is accepted miyad, right away, immediately, without delays. And this will be clear too. The second time we're talking to this person, he's already standing in the water, in the mikvah, to convert. So that'll be explained in detail when we get to the second part, when we go over the actual laws. So what if the candidate for conversion has ulterior motives, as if he or she wishes to marry a Jew? In this case, the motivating factor is not purely religious, or not religious at all. Is such a conversion valid? The Talmud discusses this in Yebamot 24b. The Mishnah says, if a man is suspected of intercourse with a heathen who subsequently became a convert, he must not marry her. If, however, he did marry her, they need not be separated. The Gemara says this implies that she may become a proper convert. But against this, a contradiction is raised. Both a man and woman who became a proselyte for the sake of a woman, and a woman who became a proselyte for the sake of a man, are not proper proselytes. These are the words of Rabbi Nehemiah. For Rabbi Nehemiah used to say, neither lion converts, nor dream converts, nor the converts of Mordecai and Esther, this is the story of Purim, are proper converts unless they become converted as at the present time. Surely concerning this, it was stated that Rabbi Isaac bar Samuel bar Martha said, in the name of Rab, the Halacha is in accordance with the opinion of him who maintained that they are all proper converts. And I had a rabbi bring this up once about the story of Purim, because it says this in Tractate Gerim, that they didn't convert for religious reasons, therefore they are not converts. Now, that rabbi was not knowledgeable enough to know that Bet Shammai never accepted the book of Esther, which is where we find this, but it is in the canon. That means it was accepted by the Jewish people, and this is why that anonymous opinion is being attributed here to Rabbi Nehemiah. And this is why the halacha is in accordance with the opinion of him who maintained that they are all proper converts. And again, it says in Mishneh Torah, even one who becomes an idol worshiper, he is an apostate Jew, which is not a non-Jew, because there is no way to become a non-Jew. So even one who leaves their religion and becomes an apostate and worships idols, it says specifically his kiddushin is valid, and this is a proper convert. So to say that just because there's a minority dissenting opinion in the Talmud that was rejected, that somehow we go by that, that's not how halacha functions. Minority dissenting opinions are recorded in case the law is ever changed. You will see why, because there was somebody arguing for that, but the majority went against this. And so moving on, Rabbi Nehemiah argued that conversions with ulterior motives, to marry a Jew is one example, are not valid. Only conversions motivated by pure spiritual considerations are acceptable. However, the Talmud rejects Rabbi Nehemiah's opinion. The Halacha follows conversions by those who had ulterior motives are in fact valid. These converts are halakhically Jewish. And it specifically states this in the laws. So, Rabbi Nehemiah viewed conversion primarily as an unsullied acceptance of Judaism. Thus, one whose motives were subject or suspect would not be a suitable convert. Rab, though, seemed to view the conversion process as a means of bringing the non-Jew into the Jewish peoplehood, even if the decision to become Jewish did not stem from the purely religious considerations. The convert became a full member of the Jewish people by undergoing the conversion procedure. While this Talmudic passage is discussing a de facto situation, B'diavad, looking back, great halakhic authorities, as we shall see later, have argued that it is appropriate to accept such converts even initially due to the unique exigencies of the modern period. And there is one sentence left on page 5, so we will move that over to